Good Sunday morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing. We started our fire season operations this Sunday, May 27th. And on our fire impact map, we have no significant fire weather impacts to speak of today for the most part. We have clouds and showers covering much of the area, both today and expected for tomorrow as well, with a very slow-moving early spring-like upper-level low pressure system. But we do expect to see gradual warming and drying later this coming week, and maybe even getting hot and dry across our southern areas by the close of the week. Looking at precipitation and lightning the past 24 hours on the left-hand side, a fair amount of fairly light precipitation. The color code here is shaded out, but just a few hundredths of an inch to less than a quarter inch in this first shade of blue, but this will be picking up as we go in time. And these darker blues here indicate anywhere from more than a quarter inch to 3/4 of an inch of rainfall, and the green dots indicate over an inch of rain in some of our heavier thunderstorms. Looking at lightning on our lightning map, the most recent in these enhanced yellow and red colors, the older lightning in the past 24 hours in the purple indicates that across the northern half of the region a fair amount of lightning has occurred. Had a few specks down in the Arizona Strip in our Southern Monuments section over the past 24 hours as well. We did have some fire activity. Most prominent was occurring over in the Vernal area, out towards the Uinta Basin, and hence other stuff further south. This should diminish today with the cooler, wetter weather. Observed precipitation over the past 7 days, quite wet across Idaho, Wyoming, and even a good portion of northern Nevada. Drier as you head further south, and especially to the east, very little in the way of precipitation. Now, over the past month, it's been fairly wet across most of the area. You see the lightest green indicating at least a half inch or more of rain. But again, it's that southern area, especially southeastern areas, which stayed fairly dry. We look at our ERC conditions, and for the most part, the only borderline critical areas we have is across the far southern, far eastern areas. You see some of these red dots here indicating ERCs in the 80th to 89th percentile. We look at them, and in the Uinta Basin, where we had some fire activity yesterday, you can see the ERCs are quite a bit higher than the average, which is in the gray line, and halfway between average and record high. So that explains why they, with some breezy, dry conditions, did have some fire activity. It is further down into southeast Utah that we have the greatest concern. Our ERCs are running at record levels. That means that at this point they are on a par, if you draw a straight line, to what the seasonal average maximum is towards July 1st. So fuels there, especially heavier fuels, are critical. So here's a look at our satellite imagery with upper level maps superimposed. And if we put the maps into motion, you can see that low pressure center centered very close to the Wendover area on the Nevada-Utah border, and moisture in these clouds rotating around in a counterclockwise fashion. In the vicinity of this low, we do expect to see showers and thunderstorms actually filling in, becoming more numerous during the heating of the afternoon hours, also sweeping up into portions of Wyoming and Idaho and back into Nevada as well. So here's a look at our upper level map for later this afternoon. You can see this big blob of green, cloudy, overcast skies and showers, where you see that green, especially in the darker green areas, covering most of the area. Looking at our significant fire potential on the right-hand side, really negligible, just borderline, moderately dry across far southern and eastern areas. Looking at weather conditions, minimum humidity staying above 30% for the most part in most areas, except down in southern and eastern areas, still somewhere between 10 and 20%. Winds on the right-hand side, the strongest winds, fortunately, will be in the areas of higher humidity. Now, on Monday, that low pressure still meanders, affecting at least eastern portions of Nevada, a good portion of Utah, Wyoming, and Idaho. So again, no real concerns in terms of significant fire potential. Humidity, again, other than being down into the mid-teens across southeastern areas, basically 30% or above in most areas as well. Again, the strongest winds coming out of the north across Nevada and into Idaho, where humidity levels are fairly high and recent precipitation has occurred. Now on Tuesday, that low pressure system moves out into Wyoming. We start drying out a little bit. Another trough of low pressure and a line of clouds and showers approaching from the Pacific Northwest. No change in our significant fire potential at this point. Looking at our humidity levels, starting to dry out across Nevada a bit, dropping down below 20% in a lot of areas, staying dry across southern Utah, still moist across far northern and eastern sections. Winds very light. You see this purple area across Nevada, basically near calm winds. Northwest 5 to 15 miles per hour elsewhere, so no significant concerns. The 3-day precipitation from this morning through Wednesday morning, you can see this darkest green through here indicating about a quarter to a half inch of precipitation covering a good portion of the region and even a few locally heavier amounts, staying dry across eastern Utah and southern and western portions of Nevada. Further down the road on Wednesday, there's a line of clouds and showers, again impacting Idaho and into parts of northern Nevada with clouds and showers and higher humidity, staying dry across the south. As we go into Thursday, that moisture still affecting those areas, becoming quite breezy across portions of Utah and southern Nevada. Here's our fuels starting to gradually dry out a little bit. And it's towards Friday. Notice that we've gone into very dry conditions across southeast Utah. That's because drier air given by these tannish and orange shades starting to move in along with higher heights, which means gradual warming as this low pressure starts moving back northwards up into the Pacific Northwest. And actually by Saturday, that low moves into portions of central Canada. We'll be in a zonal flow, but gradually more warmth and more dryness pushing up from the south. You can see in our fire potential on the right-hand side, our southern tier is now very dry and moderately dry a bit further north. So in these areas, if we get some wind with this southwest flow, which we could, there is a chance of an uptick in fire activity. Total precipitation over the entire 7-day period, most of that will occur in the first 3 days, a bit more across portions of central Nevada and up into Idaho. And the 8 to 14-day outlook, June 3rd through June 9th, indicates warmer than normal temperatures, also drier than normal, getting back to more summertime warmth and drying as we go into early June. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.